Hi guys, welcome to another video tutorial on IT.tutorial. I am Josef Botnar. In this video tutorial, I intend to calculate the future value of a single payment represented by an initial deposit at different interest rates. This is the initial deposit of £500, and I'm going to calculate the future value for 20 years at different interest rates of 0 percentage interest rates, at 5 percentage interest rates, and 10 percentage interest rates. To do so, I'm going to set up a future value calculation table. I'm going to start with this header of this calculation table. I'm going to start with the year. The next column will be the future value, represented by this acronym FV, at 0 percentage. The next column is the future value at 5 percentage interest rate, and last column is the future value calculated at 10 percentage interest rate. Here you go. I'm going to fill in this column represented by year with years, which is going to start with year 0, and the next one is going to be 1. I selected these two, and I'm going to drag up to year 20. Yeah, I'm going to remove the 21. I'm going to highlight this header, and I'm going to choose a color, a background color. Let it be a lighter one. Okay. To calculate the future value, I'm going to use this formula. VF represent the future value, which is equal with this X, which represent the initial deposit of the principal, multiplied by this addition between 1 and the interest rate. These R represent the interest rate, bound by N. This N represent the number of years of this future value calculation. So let's calculate the future value of this initial investment at 0 percentage interest rate. So I'm starting using this equal operator. So what I need this X, which represent the initial deposit. In my case, this £500, which is contained in this cell B2. The multiply operator, open parentheses, 1 plus the interest rate used to calculate the future value of this investment at 0 percentage interest rate. So I'm going to take over this 0 percentage interest rate from this cell B3. I close the parentheses, and I'm going to get this symbol for power. You have to use the combination of keys Control or Command if you work on Macintosh, and press the key where you can find this symbol. Actually, this symbol is situated on the key 6 on the keyboard. Yeah, and I'm going to take over the year from this cell A7. And at the same time, I have to get stuck this cell B2 using this dollar symbol around B letter, which represent the column for this cell B2, because this value is unique. So I want Excel to block this cell, because I'm going to use this value inside all these cells up to 20. And also the same thing I want to do for this cell B3, because I want Excel to get stuck this cell B3, because I want to calculate the future value of this investment, £500, for each this year up to 20, using this 0% interest rate. To do so, I need to use absolute reference for these cells B2 and B3. Enter. Here you go. Now I'm going to drag this formula up to year 20. Here you go. As you can see, we don't have earning at all. The initial deposit, the initial investment of £500 is going to be the same at the end of year 20, namely £500. This is because we used to calculate the future value of this initial investment, £500, at 0% interest rate. Let's see how the things are going to be if we're going to calculate the future value of this initial investment, £500, at 5% interest rate. So I'm going to drag this formula, because the changes are not too many. Let's double click on this cell. As you can see, the initial deposit comes from this cell B2, 500, is okay in this formula. What I have to change is this cell B3, because I want to calculate the future value at 5% interest rate and not 0 interest rate. So I have to move this cell from B3 to C3. The both cells, which must be fixed, because they are unique value used to calculate the future value for each of these years, are fixed, are stacked. As you can see, we use here absolute references for B2, which is the initial deposit, and C3, which is the interest rate. What I have to change to is this value, this cell here, B7, because this must be the year. Yeah, so I'm going to drag this cell here from B7 to A7. Okay, enter. Let's drag this formula up to year 20. Here you go. Now this time we've got earning, as you can see. For the first year we've got 525. For the next year, for the second year, we've got 551.25. At the end of these 20 years, the investment is going to be 1,326.65. So this initial deposit, the future value of this initial deposit of £500 at 5 percentage interest is going to be to the end of 20 years at 1,326.65 pounds. Let's do the calculation of future value at 10 percentage. So I'm going to drag this formula again. Something seems wrong here, but let me to check. So this cell is the problem, B7. So but let's take each part of this formula by turn. So this is the initial deposit. So this B2 is correct in formula. This must be changed from C3. I should move this to D3, and this B7 will become, by moving this cell, A7. Now it must be good. Yeah, it is indeed. Let's make this narrower. Here you go. And let's drive this formula up to year 20. Here you go. This is the future value of this initial deposit at 10 percentage interest rate. So to the end of year 20, this initial investment of £500 will be £3,363.75 pounds. Now we can put all this data into chart. So I'm going to select all these columns. I go and click on Insert, select Charts, and here I'm going to go on All Charts, and I'm going to use this Scatter sort of chart, and I'm going to use this one, the first one. Okay, here you go, our chart. I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to make a few changes. I'm going to change the chart title, future value at a different interest rate. Yeah, here you go. I'm going to add the titles for axis. Click on this box and double click inside this box, or just a simple click. Yeah, let's remove this title, and I'm going to change it with this one. So the vertical axis title is actually the future values. Yeah, and here I've got the years. Here you go. And I have to change the legend, the text. Actually this blue one, the series one, is represented by this, and it is the future value at 0 percentage interest rate. This orange one, which is represented by this series 2, it is the future value at 5 percentage interest rate, and the gray one is represented by this series 3 and represent the future value at 10 percentage interest rate. So let's change the text here from series 1 to future value and at 0 percentage interest rate. So select the legend, and after select data, and here select series 1, which represent the future value at 0% interest rate, and click edit. And here in these boxes, which belongs to CS name, I'm going to write fee F, which is the future value at 0% interest rate, and OK. I'm going to select series 2, and after edit, I'm going to write in the series name boxes future value at 5% interest rate. OK. And I'm going to select series 3, edit, and I'm going to write here in series name box future value at 10% interest rate. OK. And OK again, and here you go. Now you have the future value calculated at different interest rates, and also you have the chart for the future value at different interest rate, at 0 interest rate, and 5 interest rate, at 10 interest rate. You can have a overall looking above your future value of different interest rates. But it is nice regard to Excel that you can change these values, and I mean the initial deposit, the interest rate, and Excel is going to change or recalculate all these data which represent future values at different interest rate, even the data included inside this chart automatically by Excel. So I'm going to change the initial deposit from 500 to 1000. Here you go. You can see how Excel change automatically all these values, and the result of this chart too. I'm going to change here the 0, for example, with 2% interest rate, and you can see how all the values are changed here in this column. Yeah, it's not 0 anymore, it's 2, and also the chart is changed. Here, for example, if I change 5 with 8, yeah, this column, which represent future value at now 8% interest rate, was changed, and here this orange interrupted line was changed, because this orange spots represent the future value. Here is written 5%, but it was changed percentage to 8. So that is all about this video tutorial in regard to future value of a single payment at different interest rate. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. I'm waiting for you to watch my other video tutorials. See you next time. Bye bye.